Hey, my name is Matt. I'm going to be doing a film review on A Serious Man by the Coen brothers. So this is their 14th feature film. I think this was completed after Burn After Reading. So the cinematographer in this was Roger Deakins. He'd made everything look amazing. The composer in this was Carter Burwell, and I could tell he was in it. He's been in all the other movies Coen brothers have made, and he did an excellent job. This movie had a budget of $7 million, and it made $32 million worldwide, so it was a success for sure. Yeah, see, I don't think the Coen brothers could have came out with this movie as a debut. You know, Blood Simple is an awesome film to come out with for your first time, or like Reservoir Dogs, but A Serious Man is something that, you know, you have to get your fans involved in you and have them trust you, and, you know, and the companies who pay your movies trust you to do something like this. It's like if somebody just came out to a production company and wanted to make this kind of movie, well, you know, you got to make sure that people would really see it, and because they're the Coen brothers, you know, people will, and I just think that a lot of people wouldn't care about this if it wasn't the Coen brothers. I would, but it's just a different film altogether, and it's something that they've always wanted to make. The cinematography was amazing. The scenes where Larry Gopnik and Clive were in the office look like paintings, and I don't think anybody else could have done the same that Roger Deakins did. I mean, they edited that film in DP and made sure the color and everything, the lighting, was exactly what they wanted for this movie. The soundtrack was flawless. Carter Burwell does amazing in every one of their movies. He really creates a soundscape. I listened to Stephen Benedict. He does podcast, and he's talked about how Carter Burwell will use very exotic sounds and, you know, make it work. And like for one of the Coen brothers movies, he used an Amazon rainforest sound. So, you know, you couldn't really hear that obviously, like, you know, right there in the film, but like if you paid attention, you could, and just play the music, you know, by itself. There was a scene in this movie where there was some weird sound, and I just knew it was him because of that, and it was just, you know, it did its job, it created tone, but it was just exotic. The acting was really amazing. I loved Larry Gopnik's performance. He felt so real. I loved his nervous energy, and like the scene where Larry finds the money, you know, from Clive. He is calling Cy, and he's, you know, trying to set the phone down, trying to figure out what he wants to do, and I just love his nervous energy, and he's able to pull that off in this movie effortlessly. Richard Kind as Uncle Arthur was very good. He portrayed this character really realistically, and I thought that was an interesting side story to this whole film, is his brother being pretty much like a genius. Alright, now I'm going to go into a little bit more spoiler territory and get into what everything meant for me and what the scenes mean. So in the beginning, that first little 8 minutes, I didn't really care for that. I wasn't entertained by it. I guess you have to be a little bit more educated on, you know, Judaism and know Jewish folklore. The Coen brothers even said that it's not important to the movie. It just creates the tone, really. I love all the acting by the old teachers. They just felt so realistic, and it just felt so dull, and they captured that. I can imagine to some people it would be boring, but that was really, you know, the joke, although it was subtle. Just the dullness of everyday life really is the funny part in this movie. All the old teachers were well chosen. They felt like dinosaurs. It was so hilarious, the scene where the teacher is getting the music player, you know, Larry Gopnik's son, and he's trying to listen to it, and he just looks like he's completely out of his element. And I just gotta say again how Larry Gopnik is just so genuine and believable in this role. I love his speech impediments, and I love his uncertainty in his performance. One of my favorite scenes in the movie was where Larry goes on the roof and he sees the naked lady who's his neighbor tanning in her backyard. And the music from that scene is amazing. It gave off this tone that, like, something felt new and adventurous. I just love how Larry was just like a kid, not wanting to do what his desires are telling him to. It's like he's so reserved and he doesn't want to go and meet that lady. He doesn't want to do all that because he's so shy. And if he just like got past all that and he got past these things that are holding him, he could just be who he wants to be. I thought it was really funny how the kids in this movie, Larry Gopnik's kids, curse like sailors, and the little daughter is dressed up in her pajamas often in the movie, and she looks like so ridiculous, and she's like cursing, saying, you will fuck her this, you fuck her that, and then Larry's son's got this like hilarious crack in his voice, and he's cursing too, and he's like smoking pot and being a little badass, and I just think it's hilarious how like these kids are doing these more adult things, but they're still kids. And yeah, I thought it was funny, that scene where Larry Gopson's son is being chased by that bully or whatever you want to call him to get that $20 back, and it just shows how they're just still kids and they can only get away with so much, and but they're selling pot and doing all these other things, but they have to keep it hush hush and act like they're not doing it, and it's hilarious. So the last rabbi scene is funny because you'd think there'd be some big message at the end, like here's this message to life or something, but really it was just the song that's been playing in the movie the entire time. And I think what I got from the ending is that that old rabbi is telling Larry Gopnik's son that doesn't matter. He's just giving him his music device back, and he just doesn't care to discipline him. Like, he knows that he just had his bar mitzvah and he's growing up, and he doesn't see any point in disciplining him, not giving him his music back. He just doesn't care. He's just too old. He knows he's gonna die. He knows that his days are numbered. Why be negative? That's what I got from that. It's just don't be so serious. And that guy has probably lived a life, that rabbi, that maybe he didn't want, but now that he's aware of like what he does have, he's just not taking it all so seriously. He's just kind of letting it go and not worrying. I think that would do Larry a good deal there, to just not worry and just go with the flow, but I don't think that's possible. What does this movie mean to me? Just how life is random. Things happen. It's accidental, and there's really nothing you can do about it. And that's life. You just go with the flow, but you gotta stand up for yourself too, and not let everybody control your life like Larry does. There's so many funny scenes. Just so many. I think one of my favorites is when Larry Gopnik is talking to the first young rabbi, I think Rabbi Smith. He is talking about his wife and his divorce, and the rabbi says, "So what reasons did she give for the rupture?" And Larry says she didn't give any reasons, just that things haven't been going well. And then the rabbi responds, "Is that true?" "Yes, I don't know. She's usually right about those things." Just spoken like a true, wuss. Found the scene entertaining with the goy's teeth. That guy who's this dentist trying to find some deeper meaning, and what you get from that scene is, well, there is no deeper meaning. It's just maybe we're not supposed to know everything. And I felt that was well needed in the movie, and I like that little departure from the story. One joke that I missed the first time I watched was when Larry Gopnik's son is having the bar mitzvah. This one guy holds up these scrolls, and he says, "Jesus Christ," because they're so heavy. And I imagine being a Jew having to do that, bar mitzvah every time